Welcome to this thrilling journey into one of the strangest and most unexplained mysteries of all time, the legend of the Mothman. For decades, reports of a strange winged creature have haunted the small town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, sparking fear, fascination, and countless theories. What is the Mothman? Is it a supernatural entity, an alien, or something else entirely? In this video deep dive, we'll explore every corner of this enigma, from the first sightings to the strange events that have occurred since. We'll uncover the Mothman's dark history, its eerie connection to disaster, and the many theories that attempt to explain this mysterious figure. Join us as we explore the heart of the Mothman mystery, where truth may be stranger than fiction. The story of Mothman begins in the fall of 1966 in the small, quiet town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Witnesses started reporting sightings of a large, humanoid figure with massive wings, glowing red eyes, and an eerie presence. The first confirmed sighting took place near an old World War II TNT factory, an area that would soon become infamous for its role in the Mothman legend. In the weeks that followed, more people began to come forward, claiming to have seen the same terrifying figure. One of the most notable sightings occurred on November 15th, when two couples driving near the TNT area saw the creature. The couple in the car described seeing a large figure with glowing red eyes that followed their car as they sped down the road. Terrified, they reported the encounter to the police, but the authorities found no evidence of the creature. Was it a trick of the light, a figment of their imagination, or was something far more sinister lurking in the shadows? This was only the beginning of an increasing number of reports of Mothman sightings, an event that would forever change the small town of Point Pleasant. But who or what was Mothman, and why were people suddenly seeing this bizarre creature? As the sightings of Mothman continued, so did the terror. Witnesses described the creature as having a wingspan of over 10 feet, with glowing red eyes that seemed to follow them wherever they went. Some even reported that the creature could fly at incredible speeds, keeping pace with their vehicles as they sped down highways. The media began picking up on the strange occurrences, and soon, the Mothman sightings made headlines. People came from all over to try to catch a glimpse of the creature. Some locals feared for their safety, while others were drawn to the mystery of it all. Meanwhile, the sightings were not limited to Point Pleasant. People in nearby towns began reporting similar creatures with similar features. But the most terrifying event of all occurred just a few months after the first sightings. On December 15th, 1967, tragedy struck. The Silver Bridge, which connected Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, suddenly collapsed, sending dozens of cars into the river below. 35 people lost their lives that day. In the aftermath of the tragedy, many survivors and witnesses came forward with eerie accounts of having seen Mothman near the bridge in the days leading up to the disaster. Did Mothman somehow foretell the collapse of the bridge? Was this creature a harbinger of doom? The connection between Mothman and the disaster is one of the most debated aspects of this mystery. But the people of Point Pleasant weren't the only ones who began to wonder. Could there be a link between Mothman and other unexplained disasters? The Mothman sightings led to a surge of theories and explanations. Some believe that Mothman was a supernatural being, a harbinger of disaster sent to warn humanity of impending catastrophe. Others argue that it was an extraterrestrial being, perhaps an alien visitor, or even a government experiment gone wrong. One of the most popular theories is that Mothman is a cryptid, a a creature that exists outside of known science, similar to Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. Cryptozoologists point to reports of similar creatures throughout history, suggesting that Mothman could be part of a larger, hidden species of creatures that we've yet to fully understand. Others believe that the Mothman sightings were nothing more than mass hysteria. Some suggest that the witnesses were simply seeing large birds, such as the sandhill crane, which has red eyes and a wingspan similar to the Mothman's described size. This theory argues that people in a small, isolated town may have been predisposed to believe in strange happenings, leading to an epidemic of mass sightings. Could the people of Point Pleasant have been experiencing a collective delusion? Or is there something more to the Mothman phenomenon? As the Mothman legend continued to grow, it caught the attention of both the media and researchers from around the world. In 1975, journalist John Keel published a book called The Mothman Prophecies, in which he detailed his investigations into the mysterious sightings and the events that followed. Keel's book highlighted the strange connection between Mothman sightings and other phenomena, including UFOs, strange lights, and poltergeist activity. Keel's book became a sensation and cemented Mothman's place in paranormal lore. But it wasn't just the book that captured the public's imagination. In 2002, the book was adapted into a film, The Mothman Prophecies, starring Richard Gere. The film portrayed Mothman as a supernatural being with the ability to predict future disasters. The Mothman Prophecies, both the book and the film, fueled even more interest in the legend. People began visiting Point Pleasant to learn more about the creature, and local businesses even capitalized on the growing interest by selling Mothman-themed souvenirs. The legend had taken on a life of its own, and the town of Point Pleasant became known as the home of Mothman. Despite the years that have passed since the original sightings, the mystery of Mothman is far from over. In the decades since, people from all over the world have continued to report strange sightings of Mothman-like creatures. Could this phenomenon still be happening today? Are there more Mothman sightings that have been ignored or dismissed by authorities? Some recent sightings have emerged in other parts of the United States, as well as in countries around the world. Witnesses describe similar creatures, tall, humanoid figures with large wings and glowing red eyes. Whether these sightings are connected to the original Mothman, or whether they are something new remains unclear. And let's not forget the growing number of people who visit Point Pleasant to try to solve the mystery for themselves. The Mothman Festival, held every year, has become a major event, drawing thousands of people who are eager to learn more and perhaps catch a glimpse of the legendary creature. Is the legend of Mothman still alive, or has it simply become a part of local folklore? The Mothman mystery hasn't just influenced those who witnessed the creature or the town of Point Pleasant. It has seeped into popular culture, affecting books, films, and even conspiracy theories. But beyond the fascination with Mothman itself, there's a deeper psychological impact. How does the belief in a supernatural creature that may be tied to tragedy affect the people who are drawn to the story? Some researchers believe that the Mothman phenomenon may be an example of collective trauma, a psychological effect where an entire community or group experiences an event so profoundly that it alters their perception of reality. The people of Point Pleasant, especially those who lived through the disaster of the Silver Bridge collapse, may have been more susceptible to believing in strange occurrences. This section delves into the cultural and psychological effects of the Mothman legend, and why some people become so obsessed with uncovering its truth, even at the cost of their own sanity. After investigations, theories, and eyewitness accounts, we are left with one question. What is the Mothman? Is it a supernatural being, an alien visitor, or a cryptid lurking in the shadows? Or is it a creation of the human imagination, fueled by fear and tragedy? The truth about the Mothman may never be fully known. But one thing is for sure. The legend has left an indelible mark on the town of Point Pleasant and the world of paranormal mystery. Whether the Mothman was a harbinger of doom or merely a collective fantasy, its story will continue to intrigue and terrify us for generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of one of history's most enduring mysteries. The mystery of the Mothman may remain unsolved, but the legend lives on.